That's. Let's see. Let's. Hey. Hello, 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 friends. Hi, thank you for hanging out. Whether you are listening to this now or you're listening to it later, my name's DJ Zwain, in case you just bumped into this, and this is called the Sanford Sitdown. We're going to be starting here in just a moment, so thank you for your patience. "60 seconds. "20 seconds. The Sanford Sitdown. Sanford Sitdown, my name is DJ Zwain, and welcome to episode 3. This is episode number 3. I'm as excited as you are, which is kind of a way to, an easy way to just like a cop out, I think. But what are you going to do? Thanks for hanging out. This is episode 3 of the Sanford Sitdown. My name is DJ Zwain. And we have a really packed show for you today, considering I have only 2 physical guests right here, right now. And then on top of that, it's another new area, a new place. As you can tell, I am in one of the most regal places in all of Sanford, the Knights Hall, and the second floor of Hollerbuck's German Restaurant. So shout out to them for the hospitality, and yeah. So thank you, and thank you for listening. Whether you're listening now or you're listening elsewhere at another time or place. And happy Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to America for being slightly less evil. This is the anniversary of that happening. That's a good thing. First time, is it the first or second time that it's a federal holiday? I don't remember. But whether or not it's the first time, it's the first time that I really the first time that it impeded my day. And it was the first time that I was like, oh, crap, it's Juneteenth. But then I was like, no, wait, it's Juneteenth. It's a good thing. So, yes, I was a little peeved that I couldn't go to the bank because of Juneteenth. But also, I am excited and glad that we have a little bit of progress, just a smidge of progress happening here in the United States of America. But yeah, so shout out to everybody celebrating Juneteenth. I've seen a ton of posts. I know that some of our local officials posted about it, so that was really awesome. And yeah, so we have a lot to get to. So we're just gonna get through it, because tonight we're gonna talk about Sheriff Marcos Lopez, who is contrary to what I thought, not the guy from Saved by the Bell. Just found out that he was arrested for racketeering. So Tony Soprano with a badge over here. Apparently, Sheriff Training Day decided to do some serious crimes. So we're going to talk about that. We have the city of St. Cloud not declaring Pride Month, but declaring Confederate Memorial Day. That's fucking weird. And then to contrast that, obviously, not only did the city of Sanford declare, Pride Month, but also, we here at the Sanford Sitdown decided to take it a step further and bring it to, take it a step further and bring the director of Sanford Pride and Michael Foster and the First Lady of Sanford Pride, Ashley Satine. And obviously, don't forget that I'm back at West End on Saturday for a brand new set, Top 40, brand new set of Top 40 mixing for you to dance your ass off to. And yeah, so let's get to it. The sheriff of Osceola County, he got arrested this month, and his charges include racketeering, bribery, official misconduct, unlawful compensation, which is accepting favors or kickbacks while in office. Also, allegations that include accepting money or gifts in exchange for political favors or influence. That seems kind of normal. Misusing his position for personal or political gain. That just gets you presidency, I think. Being involved in a broader corruption network tied to county contractors and political. Look, far be it from me to be defending this cop or a cop, but in this particular case, it just sounds like he did a lot of the same stuff that we're used to when it comes to people in power in government, locally and otherwise. So, like, I think that this is, I mean, yeah, obviously put him under the jail. Yeah, take away his badge. Yeah, all of that. But can we do that? Like, can we take that same energy up the ladder and, in all of the other offices? Because this just seems like the norm, at least from where I'm standing. He entered a preliminary plea, and the bail was discussed. Prosecutors emphasized public trust violations. So, yeah, public trust violations. Get out of here. You mean the guy that had racketeering charges and intimidation charges? So, like, the guy was apparently seen as, like, some sort of reformer and some sort of new, like, whatever. I mean, anytime people elevate somebody to that level, they will get disappointed, especially in that line of work. That's just numbers. So, but anyway, so Mario Lopez, not the guy from Saved by the Bell. Marcos Lopez. Mario Lopez is the guy from Saved by the Bell. Marcos Lopez. You see where I made the mistake. But anyway, moving around to the other to another city around here that is doing just. The city of St. Cloud refused to issue Pride Month proclamation. Now, they refused to do that in 2024, I believe, but they also did it in 2025. And they cited a policy avoiding issues with proclamations that recognize groups. And that's apparently to prevent bias or favoritism. The motion to issue the Pride proclamation failed in a 3-2 vote. Now, this came just weeks after the council approved a proclamation recognizing Confederate Memorial Day. The proclamation was requested by the Sons of Confederate Veterans, which seems like a group to me. I could be wrong, but I think the Sons of Confederate Veterans is a group. A group representing a bunch of dead losers. Like, really, This is what we're talking about here. You're talking about post-mortem participation trophies. That's what we're talking about here. So this guy, these guys, the Sons of the Confederacy or whatever the hell, they got their little birthday party for losers passed with a 3-2 vote. And there was zero public discussion about it, unlike the Pride proposal, which faced a bunch of public debate. So their new policy, because it is a historical remembrance day, that's the reason that it passes, because it is the history that they are preserving or whatever. Even though anyway, so they do that, and then they scoff at actual live people that actually pay taxes, that actually live in their communities. So I don't understand it. I've never understood that. And I'm glad that Sanford did better. So shout out to Sanford. It's not a thing I do all the time, but you know what? Got to give credit what credit is due. Shout out City of Sanford for recognizing Pride. And I believe that our guests, and I'm just going to bring them on because that's what we're doing today. We're just going to do it today. I believe that our guests, Michael and Ashley Satine, Michael Foster and Ashley Satine, I believe, were you guys part of the Pride, the Pride recognition here in Sanford? Yes. That's awesome. So welcome to the show. Welcome to Sanford Sitdown.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you for being here. Thank you for repping Pride. We do the show only once a month, and I try to cram everything into 1 month. Into one show, and it doesn't work out all the time, but I'm glad that I was able to get you guys to come on and talk a little bit about
Well, we're really
Pride.
happy to be here, so thank you for having us.
Yes,
No,
definitely. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about about Sanford Pride, because I have some stuff here, and I don't like to rely on the internet. So were you guys founded in 21?
No.
See, this is why I said,
Hey, we'll talk about, let's do this. Let me do a couple
story
of things.
about that.
You have the floor, sir.
Okay, we got stories to tell too.
Please.
If you want to hear them.
I do.
But a little bit. Let me just tell you who we are. We are Sanford Pride. We are a community of the LGBTQ and the allies. We work to promote tolerance, acceptance, and visibility to everyone in our community, especially our LGBTQ. Now, our mission has been, and I'm going to tell you when this came about, but it's always been to nurture and to grow the LGBT's visibility and acceptance and allow us to grow in inclusion in all of the community. And how we got started is real interesting, and we'll tell you a little bit about it. But for many years, I just want to say, many years prior to Sanford Pride starting up, we had a closed-door neighborhood. I've been here quite a few years, and our neighborhoods for many, many years, we're going back 20-plus, 25 years, whatever, has had a good LGBTQ, I'm going to say gay, just because, hey, they say not to say it, I say it.
Yeah.
So,
I like your
we're going to
style.
say
I like
gay,
your
but
style.
our neighborhoods have always been influenced by our gay neighbors, and we've always all got along very well. I just have to say that, even well before all this Pride stuff came out and we started doing it, we had, for years before, we had a little bar in town called First Street Lounge.
I remember it.
And right across the street.
Yeah.
That's what brought me here.
Yeah.
So we had that little bar next door, and they would be out there, and it was really our first gay bar. But we'd be out there, they would be out there, and the girls, the entertainers, would be there for a Live After 5 back when there was a big street party.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
Bring back memories.
So, yeah, boy, so a lot of memories.
Yeah.
And so when that closed down, all the entertainers kind of left town except for one. That's Ashley Satine.
And I'm still here.
There you go. You won't leave. I love it.
And so, and it wasn't just with that one. She, when that closed down, we didn't have a lot of, visibility anymore because
Yeah.
those girls would be out there on the street and interacting with people all the time. But she kept it going by she would go out to Little Fish, Hooch Pond. She'd go to the Moose Lodge. That's a very interesting story in itself. But she would go all over throughout the town and always represent. We'd be in the parades, all this kind of stuff. So there was
Yeah.
a lot going on out there.
No, I mean, look, I I always joke about this. When I was a kid, and I've said this every episode, I'll probably say this every episode for a while. When I first got to Sanford, I got here in I moved to Lake Mary, when I was 9, from the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow.
So Sanford, when I moved here in '91, was the place where you would get your drugs and you leave. That's really what it was. In '91, that's what you did. And that was the case up until about the Holler Box, up until about that era.
2000.
And, early 2000s. And, West End is part of that, and the rest is history. But, it's so interesting to see how we've gone from, you're going to Sanford to, oh, you're going to Sanford.
Yeah.
Can I go?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So, yeah, continue. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say there's a couple of things to say about what you just said. It's it's so funny because I was here when Ellen was selling the restaurant, and she offered it to me, and I sit down there and thought about it, but I am so glad that I didn't accept that I backed out of the deal, and that Theo came in, because otherwise we'd be sitting here having probably hot dogs and hamburgers. But they brought a whole new life to the market. But I do want to just say it was about 2016, I guess it was. Well, when COVID hit.
Yep.
That
2020.
So we had been out there doing all this stuff with Ashley Satine.
Sure.
And very well known party boys. We like to do what we have to do to have a good time. But it wasn't until about 2016 that we were approached by the then mayor, Jeff Triplett.
Yeah.
And he asked us, is there some way that we can build a strong community that offers healing and hope and inclusion to the community? And it was due to the fact that we had the Pulse nightclub massacre going on. And so it was after much thought and consideration and conversations that in 2016-17 we actually created Sanford Pride.
I love that.
So we've been around for quite some time and in doing that. So
I think that having these little pockets, because I know St. Cloud has a St. Cloud Pride. I looked them up,
right?
And they're being very. I guess they're getting. We were talking off air where they were adding more security, I guess, to the event. It's sad that it gets to that point, but it's awesome that we have people like you, activists like you, that do that kind of thing, because we need that and we need the visibility. I was having a conversation with somebody close to me that I was talking to them about pride, because they're one of those, why is there a pride month?
Special pride?
Exactly.
Yes.
And I had to explain to them that I was like, you realize that pride was a riot, right?
Right.
And he was like, what? Yeah, it was a riot at Stonewall. And he was like, Stonewall? Yeah, East Village, New York. Oh, yeah, no, I've heard of that place. Yeah, well, that was, and then I explained to him what was the consequence of that, and the consequence of that was the basically cops agitating peaceful protesters in order to be able to beat them. And that was it. And that was what started the riot. And I was like, does that sound familiar? Because he's seen me go to protests and stuff like that. So I'm like, does that ring a bell? Does that rhyme
Maybe
anywhere?
just a little bit,
And so it's really, I think educating people into, as the straight guy. Sorry, the straight guy talking about pride. I think that explaining to these breeders that that it started out as a riot, and that people had to fight, and that's the reason we have Black History Month. That's the reason we have all of these marginalized groups represented in all of these different these different months in all these different ways. So keep up the good work. And as far as Sanford Pride stuff. Continue what you were saying, but also what you were talking about the things that Mayor Triplett, who was awesome.
He was a wonderful man.
Oh my gosh, he was. I have stories about him.
We do.
I'm sure you have more. I'm sure you have
They
more.
all probably coincide.
But what kind of impact did that do? Like, you said it was during COVID time.
Yeah.
No, it was happened right after Pulse Nightmare.
Right
The
after
Pulse Nightmare.
Yeah, the Pulse
about
Nightmare.
it.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's absolutely
But
right.
that's when he came to us and asked
Okay.
us to actually put something together, and we literally had the first Sanford Pride we had like 2 weeks to do something.
Wow.
So we actually, with Jeff's help, we were able to put together small, like just our normal footprints, which
Yeah.
is West End and Celery City.
Yep.
And it went ever so well that we just formulated it and came back the next year with a little bit bigger and did our first street closure. And
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, that's the kind of stuff that makes the other things that you hear about. I hate to make it like Sanford's not that bad, but like, when you hear about stuff that happens in Sanford, and then you hear about stuff like this, it's like, are we talking about the same town?
right.
And the reality is that you are, because things are complex and the algorithms suck. So they're going to rage bait you into thinking that this isn't a great place.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been around this long if it wouldn't be.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I
we've been
first
here.
moved here, I was like, I've moved to Mayberry.
But say what you say. You were jokingly saying about you being the straight guy talking about pride.
Sure.
But there is a lot of pride in saying that, being able to say that, because our biggest supporter, encouragers for us to step out of our comfort zones was Jeff Triplett. And to encourage us to
Hell
do this.
yeah.
But then when we stepped out, we found that our biggest supporter was our straight allies. And for many years, 95% of our customer base or our supporters were all straight allies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and to speak to that, though, it was Brandy Triplett at the time who approached Ashley and says, I am now declaring you or dubbing you the First Lady of Sanford.
I wanted to get that story. Good.
There we go. It was from
She said
Brandy
she's like,
Triplett.
she goes, you could have it. I don't want it. I'm like, okay, no problem.
You know what?
But I also
that's
have
as high
to
honor
say,
as you can get.
No,
It
yeah.
was.
But I also want to say that Jeff Triplett and Brandy wasn't the only people. There was a lot of people out there, and one of our biggest supporters is somebody you know very well, Paul Williams.
Oh yeah.
Paul Williams is an
Shout out Paul. Shout out Paul.
Big shout out to Paul. But Paul Williams is an amazing individual.
Yeah.
Because when everybody was kind of hiding their hands, Paul
Saying,
Williams stepped out
I don't
there.
know.
Yeah, Paul Williams stepped out there and says, "Hey, what can we do? Let's do this." I said, "We want to do a pride event. Let's do this. What do you need?
Hell yeah.
Whatever you need, let's do this." So it was really important to know that a lot of the businesses, but the individuals
Sure.
like Paul and Shane, and a lot of the people stepped up there and said, "We can do something to make this better. I want to be a part of this movement."
One of the things that I've seen is that like the company, I was actually talking to Christina about this, that the companies that I've worked for in this town, I've done a lot of work for a lot of companies around here, and they've all been very progressive leaning, very socially liberal. And to me, I would rather do that all the time, to the point where I literally don't do contracts that I know are, you kind of sniff out those contracts. Like,
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
It's not gonna work.
I can't, I'm not the best person for that. I promise you, I'm not the best person for that. But, having that ability to do things like this in a town like Sanford that has such a reputation is a hell of a testament.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to mention something that you had said about. There's an event that's going to be going on here. It's called the Brunch.
Yeah. The drag. Yeah, we were getting a lot of shit here for that.
And you're getting a lot of shit for that. But imagine, Paul. We have done so many events over there. We've done Ashley Satine and what's the
We've done.
Sanderson
Winifred
sisters.
Sanderson.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Halloween
There,
shows,
sorry.
birthday
Yeah,
shows.
no, I remember that. I
We
remember
do
that.
those, and we do Moulin Rouge, and a lot of these are all gay or entertainments.
Absolutely, I remember when that was happening, and I remember the kind of backlash that was getting because I was doing a lot of their marketing at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So,
yeah.
you know that Paul, but he didn't flinch one moment.
No.
He never complained. He never
Nope.
said anything. He says, "Just do it, go."
Yeah.
And he gives us a lot of support in those areas.
I love that.
So that's what about
Hell
our
yeah!
community.
Shout out
that
Paul,
we
man.
love.
Shout out Paul.
Shout out Paul. But I just want to say real quick.
Yeah, man.
From the day that we created Sanford Pride
Yeah.
in 2007,
Yeah.
we have always set or crowned a queen.
Okay.
So in 2017, after we created it,
Yeah.
our first queen was Ashley Satine. She was
Okay.
the emeritus of Sanford Pride.
Sure.
But I want to give you this.
Yeah.
So in 2018, we had Leona. In 2019, we had Erica Roberts. 2020 and 21, due to COVID,
Yep.
we had Bridget Galore. And after Bridget, we had B.J. Stevens. After B.J. Stevens, we had Susan B. Whitney for 2023. And in 2024, we have Amber Mills. We have a whole list
Wow.
of
That's
queens that go out into the state
That's
of
so
Florida
cool.
and promote Sanford and Sanford Pride.
I love that.
So we've been around and we've been pushing inclusiveness and everything for us.
I absolutely love that. And what kind of events do they go to
We will go. I mean, these entertainers they will be announce a queen for Sanford, and they'll do the Sanford, but they're also throughout the state of Florida. So if there is a pageant for a Miss Comedy Queen, let's say.
Sure.
Or if they have an event over at Fish Camp over in Melbourne.
Okay, yep.
Or if they go to Tallahassee.
Yeah,
They
okay.
are always representing us, or giving
That
us
is so
fashion. They
cool.
represent Sanford Pride and Sanford as an inclusive community.
Hell yeah! Well, shout out to the Sanford Pride
Yeah.
Queens.
Yes,
You guys,
absolutely.
you rock.
They do rock.
And so, what is the next? What do you guys do events throughout the year?
We do.
Okay.
We
What is your next one?
Well, our next event we have coming up, which is going to be really fun, it's with Bikeletta here in town.
Oh, bicicleta.
Bicicleta.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes.
On the
that's right.
26th, we're
Yeah.
actually doing the Ride for Pride here in Sanford.
That's right. I was just invited to that. What time is that?
It starts at 6:30.
At 6:30
We're on the 26th.
Is that a Saturday?
It's next Thursday.
Ooh, I might be able to make
It's
that.
a Thursday trip. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're
Yeah, I
gonna
might
take
be able to
take
make that.
over the streets of Sanford and ride through and display all of
Yeah.
our pride colors. And
That's right. Brenda sent me the message, so
Yeah, yeah.
I have
It's
it in
gonna
my
be a lot
inbox.
of fun.
I'm gonna try to make
She's
that.
definitely right. But we also are going to be doing Pride Night at the Zoo. Now we're just going to table
Okay.
that, but provide information because that's part of our mission is to make
Okay.
sure people are knowledgeable about LGBTQ issues and
Yeah,
so forth.
yeah, yeah.
So that's going to be going on out there. We have some private events that we're doing. Also, we do.
Okay.
Is it going to be music bingo or is it going to be regular bingo?
it's drag bingo.
Oh, drag bingo.
Drag okay.
We call it drag bingo at Middledale. What's it called?
I forgot.
Oh, Girls in the Woods. Or
Yeah,
something.
Girls in the Woods, I believe. Different name.
Yeah.
But we also do, we're on vacation right now, but
Okay.
in August when we kick back up, we have a twice a month drag bingo
Okay,
that we hold
nice.
here in town. We held it down at Philomena's on the lakefront.
Yeah,
And
Philomena's
we do,
great.
it's a lot of fun. We have twice a month. We do, all queens come in. We have cash, we have bingo prizes, door prizes,
That's
50-50. It's a lot of fun.
I love that. I love
And
that.
one of the biggest things that we, from this Sanford Pride being established, is that
Yeah.
we talk about inclusion and visibility and acceptance, is that we wanted to make this a place that other LGBTQ individuals with talents or whatever feel comfortable coming in
Absolutely.
and doing their trade or their crafts or what do you want to call it.
Yeah.
But so we are now seeing more people do that. So Sanford Pride is not part of the brunch, but it's our Sanford Pride Queens doing it.
Perfect. Yeah, I was going to say that.
yeah.
Isn't one of them doing the drag brunch here?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
several of them is going to
Several
be
will be in the first show.
That's awesome.
So
I love
three of the four entertainers are Sanford Pride Queens, and that's great because we bring all these people in. But back in the day, we didn't have places like Capitol Room. We didn't have
No.
places like Mannequins, and we didn't have places like Buster's.
That would
Yeah.
would do anything.
Yeah.
Now we did have the little bar down here, our First Street Lounge.
Yeah.
But now with us putting into Sanford Pride and building the community and being in the community,
Yeah.
we've opened the gates for other entertainers to come in. So we can tell that
was
the
the
city's very open-minded now, where before it might be a little rocky,
Yeah.
but now it's more open-minded, free-flowing.
What do you think is the so the next event that you guys have is the bike ride?
Correct.
With bicicleta. And how long is that bike ride? Give us some details about that.
They're saying right now it's from what we're saying is from about 6:30 to 8:30.
So 6:30 to 8:30.
So 8:30. It's going to be riding around downtown Sanford area. It says it's a 12-mile course, but I'm not sure what's going on there. But it's
Yeah, Brendan is working on that. She's going to get that all worked out. And,
That's awesome.
They also have bikes. If you don't have a bike and you want a
Yeah.
bike, they will rent you a bike.
Yes,
It's
they
$20
have.
for 2 hours.
And they're great. I've actually ridden. Brenda actually invited me on a bike ride, and I love riding with Brenda because she is the consummate professional.
Oh, absolutely.
And I show up with my beater $75 bike,
oh, hey.
and she goes, all right, that's cool. She's like, did you bring water? I'm like, no. And she's like, we're riding 25 miles.
Oh, no.
I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine because I ride 10 miles a day, 4 days a week. I'm like, 25, it'll hurt, but it'll be fine. She was 100% correct. She was like, grab a water bottle. I'm like, grab the water bottle. And she's like, and here's some gummies for when you need more energy later. And I'm like, I'm not going to need more. I needed every bit of those gummies. I was also a little stoned, so there was also an element of munchies there. So, what are you gonna do?
Well, she is a very passionate person when it comes to cycling.
She
and
really
that's
is
a great person to have on your team when you're doing a bike ride, even as this one. But
Especially,
yeah. But she knows the ins and outs of what's going on, and she knows like the endurance levels of certain people, and she accommodates for that stuff. And
it was awesome. It was 10 out of 10. I would recommend any of the bike rides that they do. 100%. I got the personal touch because I got the
there you go.
Yeah. She was like, hey, let's just go on a bike ride.
Yeah,
There you go.
let's just go. But
Yeah.
all right. But she's also we're also throwing in I think it's called the Joy Ride. It's a is it called? Do you know
The Joyride?
It's
it's
Mr.
a-
and Miss Sanford's new limo cart.
Oh,
thing.
no, I didn't
Well,
not
we're
know
throwing
that.
the limo cart in with the bike riders because
Okay.
in case there should be someone who just can't handle that, we will be able to switch maybe somebody off of the
And
the
drag
ride.
doesn't,
Okay,
drag doesn't look cute on the back of a bicycle.
Ashley Satie
That
will
ain't
be in
happening.
full regalia
there we
on the butt.
Oh my gosh! Now I
cart.
gotta go. This sounds hilarious and
It is.
awesome.
It is going to be very funny. But,
Oh my gosh!
So
And
we'll
the
have
thing
a
is,
mix of
and the
everybody.
thing is, you don't have to you don't have to commit to all the miles. You can just
Right,
be like, you
right.
know what, I can't.
I can't, I'm done.
And like I said, Brenda is all just through, and she's
shout out
she's ready
Brenda.
for
Hell
it.
yeah.
So shout out to Brenda.
Yeah,
she's good.
doing
at
a
that.
lot of shout outs today. I feel like shout out radio today. What the hell's going on?
Hey, shout out Sanford
Hey,
for
shout out
recognizing
Sanford.
all this good
Exactly,
stuff. So.
Exactly. So where can people find all of the information? Where can people find you guys? Plug all of your socials, everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do this. Start out with Vicoletta because she has a social page as well.
Yep.
If you just go out to her page, you will find that information there. We also have Sanford Pride has got it listed out there on their
Perfect.
Pride page.
Nice.
And then you will find flyers through all the supporting vendors, merchants in the city of downtown Sanford. So here at Hollaback, we have
Yep.
a couple of flyers posted. We have them on all the not all, trust me. We understand that. But we have them on a good majority of the merchants that are downtown.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Well, thank you for having us.
You
Thank
know
you,
what?
bud.
I'm looking forward to having you guys back, and we'll definitely work on some stuff. Let me know if we could be of any help with Sanford Pride.
All right.
Sounds
you
great.
guys-
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take it easy, guys. And this, that's the kind of stuff that I like about Sanford. Is the versatility. We get a lot of shit for being the podunk. Is it me? Is it me? Is the problem me? Hold on. Hey, hi, hey, hi, hey. Hold on. We have hey, there we go. Okay. Take it easy, guys. So, yeah, that's the thing about Sanford is that we have such a history. What the hell is going on? Hold on. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay, you can hear me. So we have the crazy, the crazy stories that you hear about Sanford being Sanford, but then you also have stories like you just heard about Sanford pride and about even the city of Sanford doing better than our surrounding cities. So there is something to be said about that. There is something to be said about Sanford being better than St. Cloud. Shout out to Sanford being better than St. Cloud. Let's see. Actually, you know what? We have Joe. Can you hear me? We have some issue. Hold on. All of a sudden we're getting issues with the microphone. Hold on. We're having microphone issues. I don't know why. Hold on. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties. We're going to try that. No. Hi, buddy. We're switching XLRs. Hold on. Hey, you want to come in?
Christine's grabbing her water right here, too.
Nice. We're doing the show. We are live right now. Hello.
We're looking at you.
Right now we have me. What's going on here? Hold on. Now me is not. Hold on. There we are. Perfect. I think I hit a button.
Oh, it is cold in here.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, did they tell you?
Brian here.
Yeah. I'm switching microphones and or switching XLRs because apparently that one decided to take its own mid-show. So we're still
Isn't that
recording.
how it works?
Yeah, so that's why we're doing this and.
You may just switch spots, buddy. This one's too cold.
Yeah, you gotta not go into that thing.
Yeah.
I'll go
Hopefully-
get the shawl. That's
Hopefully-
life.
That's what all the people say.
Just flying high in April, shot down in May. Oh man, we're gonna get copyrighted. That's so good. Oh man.
I'm sure
So-
that's what all the people say.
That is what all the people say. So we have this show has kind of gone off the rails ever since our first guests. Our first guests were very prepared. It was very good. I was very prepared. I am very prepared.
You always have to be prepared, Swain.
I'm always prepared. I am so fucking prepared. But one of the things that we have not done yet, I was getting ready to call Joe because Joe was supposed to be on the. Oh wow! Hey, look at that. Why is this not working? That's wild. Oh, I'm not connected.
Your code.
Is it possibly ridiculous?
I hate you so much. I'm gonna do a cut of every time that we did the grapple for good. All of that. Hey,
That match is gonna be a good one.
yeah, that's gonna be.
Oh,
that's
hey,
gonna-
buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Greg.
Oh shit! Do you happen to have an extra mic now?
You can sit here. I'll hang out.
All right. Well, we'll add John here in a second.
We can.
You've
guys,
been in
one
the
mic.
editing hole.
You know what?
I think I'm gonna scrap it and use yours as the base and use mine as cuts
So
because you have more of us.
I was gonna call
I
Joe.
tried to, when it was relevant,
Yeah,
Let me see if we can-
17 minutes and then I can fucking
just mix in the
fill
bits.
into it like
Let me see.
not a fucking editor.
We're
And I'm trying to do.
hey
something
we're
that's not in my
we're streaming.
Oh. It's not in my wheelhouse. And then it's personal because I'm like, I
Alright,
want this to be like
so-
this. Yeah.
We're gonna try to bring on Joe because Joe was supposed to be. She is at AFO currently. She brought Fairvilla Sanford to AFO. They have an event there. Well, she'll explain what it is.
I just saw Joe on Tom and Dan.
Yeah. Oh, well, she was probably plugging that. Are you cold?
Go get a.
Why is this not working?
Sweater's hanging up over in the corner.
You know what? This is not working.
Go get my belt shawl.
I'll tell Joe that I can't reach out to her because my phone's stupid.
No, I'm fine.
That
I was-
red shawl is right there.
You mean your
The belt presentation.
So, yeah. So unfortunately, Joe's not going to be able to join us. I was going to give her crap and be like, "Hey, why aren't you on the show? You're one of the hosts. You bring us the dating segment. You bring us why are you not here? The hell." So, well, she's not here, so we're going to continue with the program. The show must go on. Love you, Joe. We'll see you on episode 4 because we'll make sure you're not doing Joe things as you typically are. What's that?
Does this shawl cover up my Margaret Thatcher look today?
So, all right. So, well, should we do let's do this. Do you want to do the city hall, the government stuff, or do you want to do the grapple for good stuff first?
Well, we can just let it flow how it flows. Patty and I are sitting here. Patty knows what's up with all the things.
You know what? Let's start with the grapple for good since Pat's here and I'm here.
And we already made fun of you for saying ridiculous.
No, he was the one that kept saying ridiculous, and I was like, seriously? We're still doing this? He just kept using ridiculous when he was describing the Ridiculoso match.
Wrestling fans are autistic, and they like things that feel familiar.
Well, good. I am glad, and that's awesome. I enjoy.
And then he got mad at me when I stopped saying it and used other adjectives.
Oh, because he's autistic too.
Listen, we are not
just
going
a
to need.
Swain.
This is not a therapy session. This is the Sanford Sitdown. Mm-hmm. All right. So, this was definitely. So this was the third time. The third time that I've announced. Was that the third time for you?
Yeah, so we did the first grapple for good at Tuffy's last year.
Yep.
We did Krampus in December, and then we're back again last night.
Dude, that was awesome.
Third time was the charm.
Dude, I felt much better about it, even though I prepared less. I didn't. I tried to prepare more, but
Sure.
there was a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot more going on this time.
So I got a lot of the stuff I got last minute, and like for instance, I had everything on a hot queue except for one of the matches, and in my head, because I love redundancy,
Sure.
I go, you know what? I was like, you know what? Let me just make sure and have all of the music on this platform and this platform to make sure. And sure as hell, man, that helped. That was because that was the what was his name? The dude. Jamie Stanley. He was very much that dude, and he had his entrance music, and it was the only one that I didn't have, and it was just a real pain in the ass. But anyway, God bless redundancy.
It worked.
So do we have a next time yet?
Right now we're looking.
Jason, shout out Jason.
We're looking at November right now, but I'm still working on dates with the venue.
All right.
So I was talking to them today. We're looking at maybe a Sunday or a Thursday, but
make it a Thursday. It's festival season.
Yeah, I know.
I like to be in the woods.
But Sunday.
I do like
so much better.
I know, but Thursday can be a
Thursday is Thursday's Thunder Day, and we bring the thunder.
There we go.
I like that. Also, that lets me go. Although, don't make it in October because Halloween is
We're busy in October.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
German restaurant October, a little
that's
busy.
But before I forget, and before we
Halloween,
get
right?
super
For
off
Halloween.
track about our announcing, big day of shout outs, I heard.
Yeah. Day of
Shout
shout-outs.
out the Blueprint Matt Morgan.
Bro,
I feel like after intermission, after our little 5-minute chat with him and a little direction, our announcing skills substantially got better.
Let's be real. My announcing skills went up. Yours was always good.
Yeah, but I picked a lane.
Yeah, that's true. That is a thing that
I'm mad though. I like rooting for heels. So next time, we'll see next time. But
Come on. Can we flip for it?
We'll rock, paper, scissors.
All right, perfect. Rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, no,
Maybe whoever shaves their face gets to go for the baby faces.
I'm out.
I'm out. This is ridiculous. No haircuts.
Pinkham's not reffing next time. He's for the faces.
There you
go.
It's funny.
I will say, Zwain, that
Yeah.
even though I was in the middle of a match, I was still listening to you guys. And so I could hear like your improv on helping the heels and rooting for them.
Sure,
and
yeah.
talking about cheating.
Your bald head.
Yeah.
Can I say
about
bad
my
words
bald
on
head.
here?
Huh?
Can I say bad words?
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, Morgan's like, he's like, they're fucking burying the talent when they're talking out there. Because it was a mix of.
What do they mean by burying the talent? Are they mean
making them look bad or not putting them over in the right way, not making the heels look bad? Like, we're just talking shit about everybody.
Because that's what I do.
I'm a life
Everybody
heckler.
catches. everybody catches strays.
Equal rights, equal lefts,
Exactly.
right? I'm a life heckler. If I see something in an instance,
Exactly.
I'm gonna commentate on it, right?
This is why you and I get along.
So this is just how we go. And we had that talk with him.
Yeah.
That one, it's not really a wrestling crowd.
Sure.
It's kind of our guests for a lot of the part.
Yeah,
So we're pandering to them for part of the show.
Yep.
But then also, I do kind of get what he was saying, because remember Tony the Tiger the first time.
Yeah. That's right.
But like,
yeah.
But like, Franco's awesome, right?
Franco's
but like,
awesome. I love
was
Franco. I still
Franco supposed
follow
to be good or bad, right? No,
Yeah.
we don't know, because we fucking ruin that, because we're just funny, make everybody an ass, kind of.
Yeah.
And that's not how it really works.
Oh.
So that helps them if we could pick a lane.
Sure.
I think that helps them tell their story better.
He did tell me that after the next one, he was like, yeah, man, it sounded like you listened, and it sounds good. I was like, thanks, man. That's really cool.
He's 7 foot tall and 300 pounds.
The
And
guy's a WWE
he can
superstar.
kick him in the head, so he could definitely kick me in
I'm
the
still
head.
here. So, he didn't kill me.
I saw you last night afterwards, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, he hurt me. I didn't say he didn't hurt me.
After the ring was loaded. After the ring was loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to say my favorite match was the ladies' match. Both because
usually it is.
Is it because of the cake? Is it because of the cake, Zoin? Is it because of the cake?
It's half of that.
For the
It's half
record,
of the cake.
It really was her birthday.
It was. It
And
was
those
Casey's
were
birthday.
real
Oh, I forgot
cupcakes.
about the birthday
I know.
cupcakes.
Yeah. That was. Yeah.
I see what
that was
you did
good.
there.
Zoin was at a good spot.
That was. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
it
was
I
kind of
happy.
funny that we got Casey those birthday cupcakes, and we
Yeah.
didn't know what to get her, so we brought her 3 different varieties. And then immediately. in wrestler fashion, hey, I'm going to use this in the match, because that's exactly what we do.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite part of the match? Of the whole thing? Like,
As a promoter
Yeah.
or as a
Yeah,
performer?
because there's two different.
okay,
two
fine. Then
different
give me
looks.
both answers. I want to know both
All right,
answers.
So, I mean, as a promoter, just seeing the community come together the way it did, and honestly, seeing Matt Morgan get in there with his son at the end.
that was so awesome.
cool.
I know how special that is to have your child in the ring
Yeah.
with you, especially when you grew up loving the business and
Sure.
it became your identity. I mean, even as commissioner or mayor, Matt
Yeah.
Morgan is still known as the Blueprint and a pro wrestler.
His IG is BP Matt Morgan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is who you are. So when that happens and then you're able to share that with your child, it's something very special. So seeing him get in the ring, especially as a nonverbal autistic child,
Sure.
that was a big moment. He didn't even know before the show if he'd be able to get in the ring, if he'd be comfortable with it.
Honestly, I kept an eye on that the whole time, because I was 50-50 worried whether he was going to make it the whole show.
Yeah.
And shout out to both of them
Dude,
and Mom for sticking
and
there,
Larissa,
making sure we got through it.
I got to meet Larissa for the first time. That was really cool. And I got to meet Jax. It was really. It's interesting when you know somebody, when you I guess have a parasocial relationship with them, or you have people that you know of, or that but like he and I met one time, and this was years ago. This was before COVID, and he came up and he was like, we met before, and we made that exchange. I was like, you remember? That's awesome. So it's
You're
really
like, for me, I know Matt from politics, not from wrestling.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, I know Matt.
And I'm like, I used to work out next to you at Apex when it was at the mall, and
That's
we
funny.
used to talk because I've been here for 20 years. He's
Yeah.
like, oh my God. He's like, that's so crazy.
So I only know him as a commissioner, or as the mayor when I met him. But the thing about that is that I didn't know wrestling after maybe 4th or 5th grade when I came here from the DR, and I was telling him, because he was like, "So are you into wrestling? Like, what's?" I was like, "I mean, fucking, I am now. I have 3 matches that I've announced
We
or
forced it upon you.
But that's cool. That's why I love my life being so weird that I can get into weird stuff like this, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't know I liked it. That's how I got into. I ran the Connecticut School of Broadcasting in Orlando and Tampa. Hired, fired, did wrote curriculum, the whole 9. The only reason that happened was because I needed extra work while in radio, and one of my radio mentors, Alex Diaz, shout out Alex Diaz, was like, you should talk to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting about teaching for them. And I taught there, and it was weird because I was teaching, and it was I was teaching something that I wasn't formally formally trained on.
Sure.
But it was
You
something
mean
that
like everything we've ever done our entire life?
Yeah,
Then
basically.
we meet people who
Life
are formally
experience.
trained in what we do.
Yeah.
And we're like, ew.
Yeah, that is literally it. Oh my God.
I mean, the thing is, when you love something,
Yeah.
you're able to adapt to it. Even with wrestling, I did wrestling with my friends just because we loved it for 2 years before I ever got properly trained. It was just, hey, we love this business. We want to be a part of it. We see what's going on. And so we took to it and tried to learn it ourselves. And so I see what you're saying. Like that wasn't what you were made for, but you took into it.
So
But what was your other favorite thing as a performance?
So as a performer, I mean, my favorite thing was just the reaction from the crowd mostly. But honestly, even though he kicked me in the face when Matt Morgan got in the ring, the crowd erupted. And I know, being a performer, I could see on his face how much he loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And so as soon as he got in, and even though I'm sitting there punching him in the face,
Yeah.
I can tell inside he's got a big smile going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And just his enthusiasm and the way that he was performing with me, he could have phoned it in and just kind of like barely took the hits and just kind of, went. But
he sold it.
He sold
He
it.
sold it.
And he went all out for it. He made sure that moment meant something, that the fans were like, oh my God. So that right there, even though I feel I had a great match overall between me and Ryzen. I mean, I've had a 20-year history with Ryzen, so
Yeah.
every match we have, we seem to get a little bit better and know each other a little bit more, and they're great matches.
it's a dance.
But the
Where you hurt
moment in
people.
that when Morgan got in, though, that was a huge deal.
Yeah, no, I think that was really cool, and I think that watching you and Ryzen go back and forth, you could tell that you two have known each other for a long time.
That double clothesline was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was, and like, the first match confused the hell out of me because everybody was beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know who was
Threats are
fighting.
interesting.
That was interesting
Hey,
is
but
the way to
they
put it.
got the only "This is awesome" chant.
They did.
The whole
Just-
card.
I just got your text message. Anyway.
Yeah, the triple threat matches are interesting because typically in a wrestling match, you have one side versus the other. So you have
Yeah.
good guys, bad guys.
Yeah.
That's typically what you have. But in a triple threat match, you can only have one and then two of the other. So
Sure.
you might have one good guy, two bad guys. And so they have to play a dance within themselves to make sure that everyone looks right in front of the crowd.
In my case, do I in that move, do I pick one guy or do I pick do I switch up? Like, what do I do? Because
So what I
You
like
guys have to be in opposite teams, whatever those guys are in
Yeah.
the story they're telling.
So if you're
Okay.
if you're going to be the heel announcer, meaning that
Yeah.
you are going to help cover the bad guys cheating, you're
Sure.
going to try to make sure the good guys, you're trying to say they're cheating even when they're not.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when Ryzen had me in a headlock, you could have said, "Hey, he's pulling his hair," even though I don't have hair.
Yeah.
It's funny, but you're still trying to be on the side.
So you
of-
could go
of me.
that like absurdist.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely.
I did not
I
think
mean,
about-
wrestling in itself. Think
It's-
about
it's-
any theater
Like
that
when
you've
we kept
ever
calling
seen.
for low blows.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah. That's true.
Theater is absurd in a lot of ways. I mean, think about all the over-the-top things that happen on a stage. That
Yeah.
is exactly what happens in wrestling. Just
Jacked up
we're
dudes.
also beating the crap out of each other. So
Yeah.
Well, even like the overacting that's expected, especially in like musical theater, like
Yeah.
no one ever talks like this.
That's true,
But
yeah.
like if they don't do that, I'm like, ew, why are you not doing the thing that I want you to do?
yeah, it's the same thing. Like if I and you know that style. Like if I told Christina, "Hey, I want you to do this in musical theater style," she knows exactly what to do, and it's over-the-top acting with that clean, like high-pitched voice and all of that. In wrestling,
Your
if
Disney
I
smile.
if I say
Oh, I have a Disney princess voice. It's wonderful.
Oh God, I hate that. Oh.
exactly,
Oh, that makes my head hurt.
the same thing is
that sword
expected.
Yeah, right.
That same exact thing is expected in pro wrestling. If I
Sure.
told someone, "Hey, do this like a wrestling promo," they're going to be like, "Well, you know, man, I'm going to come down to the arena and I'm going to take you out, brother." Like that's exactly what they're going to do because that's
Sure.
what pro wrestling has been established as over the years.
That's
It's-
like, you
it's
know-
campy, over the top circus talk.
That's hilarious. In the DJ world, campy, over the top, puking. That's a strip club DJ.
It has a place.
Yeah.
guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
like
even in radio, the morning zoo.
the morning
style.
zoo, the morning zoo. That's another puker.
Yeah.
That's another. That's yeah. So
Well, even if you watched Matt Morgan and I on the news,
Yeah.
he was being Commissioner Morgan at the beginning.
Sure.
But then when she asked about whether wrestling was scripted, you could see the shift in his character. Like then he stopped talking to us. He looked at the camera, like, "Not me though. I never do that." You could tell it changed. You
yeah.
know.
So he actually said something. We were texting back and forth. He was going to try to make it to the show, but he has a thing with Jax, so he wasn't able. And it was very last minute. I asked him last night. He said, "Well, I would definitely talk up Christina Hollerbach. She inspired me to want to participate in last night's wrestling show after being retired since 2014. She inspired me because she sent the spreadsheet when I asked her. Of course, it was a spreadsheet. Of course, it was a spreadsheet.
He's a pie chart.
Exactly what the nonprofits you guys contribute to. Did you send me the spreadsheet? I swear, man, it felt like there was over 100 different nonprofits, and that's just part of what the nonprofit does. I was beyond blown away. I was beyond blown away by that, so I wanted to participate in the hopes that maybe I can get a couple extra ticket sales out of them, knowing that our nonprofit... basically talking about how the nonprofits do so much good work, and you know what? The fact that he came out of retirement, I didn't know it was that long ago. I thought it was like maybe like 2018, 2019.
I have like a 15-year blind spot. I'm like, oh, that was just recently, and I'm like, oh no, 15.
Yeah,
he did a couple one-offs.
Yeah, he's done one-offs that have only been for charity. Like,
That's
so
right,
he's
the
only-
Leadership Seminole thing, where he was there with the other people there.
Well, and that's how this even happened. We were at the Leadership Seminole graduation ceremony, and he was there as a past alumni, and we started chatting. Jason was my +1, and wrestling came up. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, shocker.
And and he was just like, man, I didn't know you guys were doing that. Let me know more about it. And yeah, even like how he was interacting with the audience.
Yeah.
He means what he says, man. He made a point of
And
going
all
out,
the-
talking to people,
No, yeah.
spending time in the green room with the guys. Really great.
You know what's... Go ahead.
I was going to say on the other side of it, how you were talking about how you've only known him as a mayor.
Yeah.
And Christina met him through politics, but understood he was a wrestler.
Yeah.
I only knew Matt as a wrestler. So to see him at Leadership Seminole and a political figure and wearing a
His little
suit, I was like,
It's not a little
like,
suit.
well, okay.
Yeah, it's not a little suit. That man's
Anytime someone wears a
very
suit, I say
custom
little suit,
tailored,
but that
too.
suit I'd be swimming in if I tried to put it on. So I
Yeah.
get it. But no, he just, it was different for me. But at the same time, I mean, wrestling's very political. So I could see exactly what he was doing and understand it. And when he came over, we even exchanged words because we were on some shows together, probably 14 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But it was cool to see him. And then we kind of started talking about the shows we were on. And then I forgot the fact that he's a mayor. And then when he said he wanted to be on the show, I was just thinking, oh, a wrestler coming back. And I was like, oh, wait, this guy's actually a political figure. He had to go do a ribbon cutting an hour before the show. So he's a busy guy. And it's
Did
pretty
he get an
amazing.
official call, and that's why we were a little bit late coming
Yeah.
back to the
He had
last
to-
match
Yeah.
because there may or may not have been some stuff going on in Longwood he had to deal with.
Oh, that's what it
He
was.
had to go take a phone call for
So-
Talk to a city manager.
Well, good.
handle it.
There's a joke in there. So I'm going to leave that alone. So, when Matt came up to me, like he was a very welcoming dude, and I am very. It makes me nervous because I think he's a nice guy. I genuinely think he's a nice guy, and I just don't. It's one of those things where I don't want to dig through the politics because I know I'm gonna find something I don't like. Probably. Maybe
There's lots
I
of
won't.
things people don't like about me.
Yeah,
but
I
you
know.
take it or
But
you leave
yeah,
it.
I know.
And my sense is, like, I care about who shows up.
And that's
And that's who shows up.
Yeah, exactly. And that to me
He's
is
a straight
huge.
shooter, I think.
And
He
that's
was.
the
He
other
didn't.
thing.
He didn't hold anything back. Like,
Yep.
He's like, hey, I think this, that, whatever, and like very matter of fact. But I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
way,
and I prefer somebody that I disagree with that's honest.
Sure.
Than somebody that
My
agrees
rule
with me.
is they can be different but transparent. And I'd rather have that than somebody who's opaque and not being honest with me.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, he's been very open about everything from his wrestling career to the demons in his past. He
Yep.
doesn't hide from it. He
No.
uses that as something to show his strength and what he overcame. So
Sure.
for him to be that honest and open, I don't see that he's really hiding much.
No, and that's exactly. No, I think he's a cool dude, and the few times that we've exchanged pleasantries has been nice, and I mean I think that in the broadcast, which you can actually see, I'm gonna chop up the show, and you can see the full match or all the matches on my YouTube channel, but his input really helped my performance, so that was cool. But good segue to city stuff. We wanted
Jason's
to
like, I'm out.
Greg,
I don't touch that part.
You want to? You don't want to jump on. That's you, Christina. So
Yeah.
you are the government whisperer. Yeah.
I'll keep my pinky in just in case.
Government screamer.
Government, whatever, whenever
town-
screamer
town
when
yeller?
necessary. I should.
Oh, yeah, can I be town crier? Is that a thing?
Town crier. All right. So Paula
Ooh,
Revere,
can I
let's
put
go.
like a parchment and a sword on a tree somewhere?
We are all ready.
You're wearing a shawl and I've got a sword.
And we're in Knight's Hall, so yeah. So what do you what is it that we should know today about?
So I'll say, even after doing a few of these and getting some attention, and obviously how public I am about accountability.
Yeah.
And even my past campaign, I'm
Sure.
so surprised how much people don't know about civic duty and about local politics, of just how it works. And even on a federal level, our understanding of how government interacts with people is
Sure.
difficult. And I want to talk about we mentioned city managers and all the things. Depending on your city's charter, and the charter is the rules in which a city chooses to govern itself.
Yeah.
It's most likely cases based on the size of your city. There's a city manager, and then there are elected officials, commissioners and mayors on that board
Yeah.
that then communicate with the city manager, create policy, and they are the ones that run the day-to-day of a city.
Okay.
And so, although the city manager has most power, he's not an elected official. So that's been something that people have been coming up to me a lot, very confused about. Well, why don't we just, get him out? It's like, well, you can't. It is his job. So I think it's an understanding of how government works.
So the city manager. So you're saying that citizenry is saying, well, why can't we just get him out? Why can't we just get him out?
They are just like any employee anywhere. It's paperwork. What does their employment agreement look like? Is there a term limit on it? What does he have to do to be terminated? How does that accountability work? When can you hold him accountable? And just also, we have
I
Florida
thought this
Sunshine.
was a right to work state.
Yeah, well, we have
Not
Florida
when you have a
Sunshine.
contract.
It's true. And Florida Sunshine state law also, the whole point of that is to keep things in the sun, to prevent backroom deals and colluding. So every time you have a conversation,
Facebook page is a bunch of random people's criminal records.
He also got a raise since the public health crash.
He
I'm sorry?
did.
He got a raise since the public health crash.
Oh, I know. I saw that. He got a raise. Yeah, Greg just said he got a raise since
Since
the
his vote of
public.
no confidence.
That is
His second.
insane to me.
Second vote of no confidence since the petition with over how many people signing it?
1,000.
Over 1,000 people
Jesus
signing it.
Christ.
Still got a raise.
So how does that happen?
Well, and I don't want to harp on it, right? We tried everything we can as a community and as citizenry to tell the commission that has purview over that job how we felt, and it didn't work. So now it's a matter of getting the votes. If we feel that this change is what we need and this is how we want to move forward, is the votes.
Short of long commission is how it happens and how it changes. Your commission has to vote him out in a majority. And right now, nobody wants to
majority
be
is-
that majority. We've got two commissioners that are willing to step forward and say something and speak out.
And how many? We have 5, 4, 5.
Yeah, you gotta have a 3 out of
3-2.
5.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're 3-2 the opposite way.
Yeah. That's
and
insane.
the mayor also does not want to be a deciding
And
factor
so,
in any of that
can the
stuff,
mayor be a
right?
deciding factor at that point?
They could. Exactly.
Yeah. So, and then if they tie the vote, what happens?
Then the mayor would
So if the mayor, if they tie the vote, then the mayor just can say, beat it.
they would be the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm saying, but if
We have a 2-2 with Pat not there one time, right?
Yeah, and so that's what happened
Art
last
was
time.
That's
the
the one we
it
were
was
there.
Still, it was a 2-2, and then it wasn't brought up again.
Yeah. So that's
Well, and I also want to talk about, and all cities are different. In the city of Sanford, they have structured work sessions prior to the regular scheduled meetings.
okay. What does that
And
mean?
a work session, again, this is Florida Sunshine. Everything has to be in the public eye.
Yeah.
So, and you think about how annoying that is. I get why we have those and trying to prevent people from doing stupid stuff.
Sure.
But could you imagine your own family or running a company where you're not allowed to talk to the other people you have to make decisions with unless you do it in a room with 2 weeks notice in front of every single person who puts you in that seat? That's weird. So
Yeah.
not even just talking about our own Sanford stuff, just in general, that's an awkward place to be because we all know, even right now, the conversation we're having is performative.
Sure.
So we're going to ask questions differently. It's going to change how I'm going to ask that question. Maybe
true.
I don't want to look stupid. Maybe I'm just going to go along with the consensus. Maybe I didn't prep, but I feel too weird. So all of those factors are happening every single time these people are in a room. But I mention work sessions because by the time something even becomes an agenda item on a regular meeting, it has usually gone through work session as a discussion first. So if you really want to know what's going on, and like work sessions are not meant for public comment, those are like for the commissioners to speak to each other, for the city manager to brief them on topics that they may have questions about. So it is not a place for you to talk, it is a place for you to stay informed about what's coming.
Okay, so you're not allowed to talk in these particular
Just so
sessions.
there's no one else was in the room where it happened type scenario.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Okay.
it does give you time to prep. So sometimes they're briefing on something that is on that agenda for this evening.
Yeah.
But other times it's like, hey, we're briefing about the city manager's evaluation. We're giving you a briefing about the new increases in water and fire. We want you guys to be informed and have these discussions.
So, okay, so how, man, this sounds like a chicken and the egg, catch-22, just annoying situation.
Very rough waters to navigate sometimes.
And it's hard to pay attention. And so, like, even with the city manager thing, all right, we
Yeah.
had momentum. There was some drama going on. People were getting behind certain commissioners.
Yeah.
People were feeling the effects of some of the issues that we've been having with water quality. So
Yeah.
there was this pressure publicly about, hey, what is going on at City Hall? But then after these things happen and we present the petition, it gets, dismissed, then the vote occurs, people get fatigued.
Yeah.
So their whole hope and their MO is let's put it on the agenda item to appease them, see how many people show up, and then hopefully if we keep dragging it along, they stop caring, stop coming, and then we don't have to deal with it. And they win all the time. And I say I'm not just talking about City of Sanford. This is not even politics. It's people.
No, yeah,
If they know they can wear you out so you can stop caring and you stop paying attention, that's what kids do to parents.
Yep.
They keep poking
wear
and
'em out.
poking and they wear them out and then they
Yep.
know. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. And even I'm running a business, doing all this fun stuff and taking time out of my week every day to watch those agenda items, show up to those meetings, rally people, have meetings, write petitions.
Can
It's
I
a lot.
use that as the thing to what is it called? An analogy that you wear people down and you politically fatigue them to the point where 20% of your voters come out and vote that you have to have 75% or whatever it is, not a majority vote, a super majority. When that was decided,
That was
was
brilliant.
it, like 20%?
Yeah.
Hey, we
Because
put it out
everybody's
there, you
politically
lost.
fatigued.
Yeah.
So nobody's paying attention. So the people that are paying attention get what they want.
Yep.
So pay attention.
It's
get what you want.
But that's, what? If you look at it, that's all the way up to the top.
Yep.
Sure.
All the way up to the top. And
But we can control this small.
yeah, exactly.
So that's how we have to start, I think.
So no, I 100%, and I think that we need to. That's why honestly, that's part of why I do this show.
Sure.
I do this show partly because I want to get people informed. That's why I have Christina here every time, because Christina has a good way of explaining all this shit in layman's terms. Where I'll be a nerd about it and I'll be like, yeah, but you're able to simplify it a little bit better. So props to you for doing that, and props to you for taking the time, because I know we're friends, so I know how much time you have extra to, hey, let's go grab a drink. So yeah, props to you for that. Do you think, I guess, what is more effective, for the person to show up to the work meeting or to the other?
It depends on your goals and what you're passionate about. So if you just want to generally know what's happening, go to work sessions.
Yeah.
Read it or read the agenda items that they post on the city website
Sure.
to know this is happening in my backyard. Oh, they're annexing property next to me. My increases are going to go up on fire and water. So if those are things that are important to you, that you want to know how they made that decision or why, because in some cases entirely valid, but if you want to know the nitty gritty, then go to work session, because that's where they're really talking it out. Because then by the time it gets to the regular meeting, they might go, hey, we've got this regulation, I'm going to read this
fire
annoying
assessment
policy, I
fees.
don't even know what this policy means, and everybody goes aye, and then it's done and nobody really knows what's happening. But if you wanted to hear them discuss it, get a presentation from the fire chief, know why they made that choice, then you should go to work session.
Okay.
If you already know what you want to talk about and you want to say something, that's when you go to a regular meeting.
Here's a crazy communications question. Why wouldn't we have them present that in a way, maybe even that recorded session, chop it up and make it into like shorter, easy to digest for regular people. This is why we're doing this.
Well, I mean, from some of our poking, they just now started also streaming work sessions.
That's
where
right. I
before,
remember that.
They were only recordings that you could listen to after the meeting, but now they're streaming both of them, which is great.
They are, and I actually got YouTube knows that I'm following it because now it's trying to get me to see work sessions of North Bend, Indiana, or something.
Oh, you like this?
That pop up.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't. I live here. The reason I'm doing it is because I live here. That's anyway.
Watch the Dothan, Alabama City Commission meeting.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
thank you.
care about Durham, maybe Durham.
The algorithm's not always right.
Yeah, stupid robots.
But I mean, to the city's credit, they are trying.
They
and
really,
it is hard.
you know what? That's
and
true.
The people in this room know editing takes forever. So the fact that they have to publish a meeting ahead of time, get all the equipment
why
to
I'm not
stream
famous.
it, make sure the streams are attach those links to a thing, post. That is a lot of work already. And so you think about the city staff that they already have. Who are we willing to pay our tax dollars to a person
we
whose
wanna
sole
pay for
point is
that?
to edit it? So I think if you're passionate about it, it's there.
Sure.
And go look for it. But yes, it would be helpful and nice, but we also know how long that takes.
Yeah, but I think that because of the fact that it is so effective, I think that we should prioritize that, even if it is, shelling an extra couple of bucks to
Academy.
to anybody to the not the staff, to have a dedicated person that's like, oh, okay, yeah, when I post this, I need to go to IG, I need to go to Facebook.
Well,
I
and
need
even
put
to the credit of
blah, blah.
all of our commissioners, including our mayor, they do usually put snapshots of like, hey, we know this might be a contentious item. I'm telling you up front what's happening.
Yeah.
So there is definitely, nobody's trying to hide stuff. They are people out there trying to get it. I wouldn't say there's a lot of video clips of stuff, but there is an effort to get people informed and let them know.
Well, so far,
The city employees kick ass. They're
Yeah,
they're
no,
doing
absolutely.
all they can do to keep everything.
and just think,
afloat,
they're a
too.
rock and a hard place, because it's never going to be enough, but
for
they
sure.
have to work within the restraints they're given.
that's So what's next? What's next around here at Hollerbox? What?
Oh my gosh.
What?
I always forget, and then I read our own newsletters, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we're doing stuff.
We can pop it off. Saturday is Rattler Day. We've got our Rattler ride.
Oh,
with
the
Lisa
Rattler
Collector, who you were
That's
talking
right.
about
We were
earlier
just
with
out of-
Brenda.
Hey,
so I
Brenda,
think
shout
we'll
out
be
Brenda.
open at 10 at the lodge. Come
Nice.
back, do your bike ride around the lake with Brenda. Come back, get a free Rattler at the restaurant for Rattler Day.
Oh, man, I might do
every
that.
June 20th. It just happens to fall on a Saturday, which is great for our riders this year.
That's really awesome.
Next Wednesday, Anthony Bourdain Chef's Night.
Almost sold out. I think there's only two tickets left. Yeah.
2 tickets left if they're still there.
Nice, all right.
But so we've got that. Then
We also have Kinder Nights going on all summer.
on Wednesday, Kinder
Yeah,
Nights.
that's okay. Yeah.
$2 a pretzel every Wednesday night goes back to a different school, and I think we're just Seminole Volusia right now, but it's
Okay.
mostly schools that my kids go to or his kid goes to. It's schools that we have connections with,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
all
yeah.
the charities we
I
work
mean,
with.
we have
we
160
connections with,
employees.
right?
How
I
many
love
kids?
it.
We have like 45 kids
So we've
out of
got
those 160 employees.
nine schools for 9 weeks over the summer that we're
That's-
donating $2 per pretzel.
That's
sold
awesome.
during Kinder Nights on Wednesdays, which is running in conjunction with the
Summer
Ritz Theater.
cinema.
Oh, so you can do like a little
The donate
little hop thing.
a school supply and get a free movie ticket thing at the Ritz Theater. So
I love
just
that.
trying to get people down here on Wednesdays.
That's awesome. I'm really enjoying the variety of events that are going on for kids,
There's nothing going on. We're trying to make stuff happen.
cycling beer drinkers.
Facts.
We're just trying to
Not
get.
there. If you dream it, they will come.
It's
Yeah.
true. It is
but
true.
also, like, what I've been saying in the news, if there's someone in a group of people in our community that are passionate about something, then we're going to try to find a way to reach them and include them in what we're doing, because we all win when we work together as a community. I'm getting my politic hand
You
out.
are.
when I
You
say that,
really
'cause
are.
I get mad about it.
The better everybody does, the better everybody does.
Yeah.
Period.
Think
That's
about
true.
I mean, yesterday alone, just in downtown Sanford, it was great to see how busy it
Speak
was.
up.
Between the Kinder Nights here, which was really busy and popping last night, we had the theater. That was, they do their free movies on Wednesday, and then we had the wrestling show. So downtown Sanford was packed last night. It was
Yeah.
pretty
all
great.
different kinds of people
All
doing
different
great
people
stuff.
doing different
Yeah.
events. It was pretty great.
That was yeah. I honestly, there was a lot of people at the event. Like
Yeah.
On a Wednesday.
on a Wednesday. Yeah, I was like, on a Wednesday, man, y'all showed up. It was great. So awesome. Where can people find everything? Any information?
Hollerbox.com.
Hollerbox.com.
You can also sign up to be on our newsletter. Like I said, that
Beautiful.
goes out twice a month.
Facebook, Instagram. If you want to see all the cool stuff me and Greg do when we dick around, go on the Holler Block.
The Holler
we make
Block.
cool work videos.
Holler Block. The Holler Block.
Again, editing's not easy, guys. Remember that.
Well,
especially when you're both us.
Thank you. Especially when you're both us. Thank you guys for being a part of the show all the time. Thank you for all that you do. And next time, episode 4, right?
Woo!
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you.
It's may the episode 4 be with you. That's
Now we got to
episode
talk
be with
about
you.
Superman.
We'll work it out. My name is DJ Swain. You can find me anywhere on social media. At DJ COUAIN. You can find me on all of the social medias, DJ COUAIN. You can find the Sanford Sitdown at Sanford Sitdown on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of it. And aside from that, find me on Saturday.
Sitdown.
That was me. I said that. Find me on Saturday. I'm playing at West End, starting at 10. Brand new set. Nothing I played last week. Some of the stuff I played last week, but not many.
Because they insist on it.
Only because the bartenders.
Only Bad Bunny.
Only Bad Bunny. I'll be playing a lot of Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny sold. I'm sold on Bad Bunny now, man. I gotta tell you.
Only took 2
stuff
years.
sounds-
It only took. You know what? I don't need your shit. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
The reason I'm comfortable with